Alright, Shalom, Shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I'd like to give all honors and glories and infinite praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakodash. I'd like to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who do well, who taught us the truth, peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect, which are scattered across the four corners of the planet Earth. Who truly believe in the names of Yahweh Bashmel Shai, who truly and sincerely practice and actually practice what they preach, and actually listens to the words and hearkens onto the messages and the teachings of the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. I'm here to say shalom, peace, and blessings unto you all as well too. The hopeful elect, which is scattered across the four corners of the planet Earth. You so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the rest of Israelite foreigners that's out there that truly believe in the messages of the Bible. Peace and blessings and salutations and shalom unto you all. May Yahweh Shemel Shai guide your footsteps to your righteous destiny. I'm here to make a message. This is a testimony that I have. It's a dream that I had last night. It's kind of like similar to like Elder Yashawamba's dream that he had years ago. The Elder Yashawamba, he actually made a message. He actually made a video, a teaching about, the times that's coming, the hard times that's getting ready to hit our people. In my vision, it kind of like correlates to it as well, too, because the crazy thing is I saw a lot of the brothers in the truth in my vision that I actually had last night, Before I get into the testimony, before I get into the vision that I be having, the vision that I actually have, because the vision felt so real. It felt like I was really in it, That's how realistically, that's how real the experience of the vision that I actually had really felt within my spirit. So I'm gonna get a few precepts, and here it is right here. This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 4, and this is verse 17. And it says, "For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of Yahweh, Elohim." So pretty much this actually is going to and referring to the judgment, the time of Jacob's trouble. It's like the times of Jacob's trouble, the days that's the hard times that's coming to the house of Israel, man, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, those who truly believe in the names of Yahweh Bashmel Shai. This is only for you only. We don't really care about the heathen nations at all, for the most part, because they're not a part of the whole food. Like, anyways, they're not the true chosen people. Anyways, these so-called Ashkenazi white Jews and these Asiatic people, we don't really care for them at all. They're not a part of our entire nation. They're not at all. They're separate groups of nations, anyways, that went against our people. But mainly, this message is for you, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the Israelite foreigners that scatter across the four corners of the planet Earth. This message is for you guys to get right, man. I'm going to continue on down with the verses, and after that, I'm going to go into detail about the vision that I have, because it's very serious, man. And it really did something to my spirit after I had that vision, man. I've been trying to keep my spirit in high good hopes and been smiling, trying to like keep myself in good positive energy. But that ever since I had that vision last night, it did something to my spirit, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. It did something to my mind frame, because the times that's coming, that's gonna really come across this earth, that's gonna come upon our people. It's gonna be devastating, man. And our people don't see that Jacob's trouble is right there, man. The end times is right there. They just ignoring it. They like just having a blind eyesight to this. Like, they just having a closed curtain mindset to it, but they not really prepared for what's to come, man, through the spirit. So I reread the book of 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 17, all the way down to 19. And after I'm going to talk about the vision that I had, because it's very serious. So here I'll go. It's verse 17. For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of Yahweh thy power. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of Yahweh thy power, Yahweh Bashmal Shai thy power? It's like you. Verse 18. And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? Wherefore, let them that suffer according to the will of Yahweh thy power, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai thy power, commit the keeping of their souls to him in well doing as unto a faithful creator. And this is exactly what this entire vision encapsulated with these verses right here. So I'm gonna go into detail about the vision. So here I'll go. So in the vision that I have, and mind you, we all know that through the scriptures that, our people, the so-called black and brown copper-colored nation of our race, the so-called Israelites, the so-called Hebrew Israelites, majority of us, we are the true chosen people. Whether you want to believe that or not, it's already been based upon in the Bible. We already know that them white Ashkenazis, those fake white Israelis, they're not the true chosen people of the Bible. And we know that their time is coming to an end. So this video right here is gonna be serious, man. This might actually might make a lot of people might not even want to watch this video no more, because this is how graphic it's gonna be with my vision that I saw what happened to our people. But in the vision that I have, in the beginning of it, it was almost, almost about to be Jacob's trouble, the end times, Mad Max type of era. It was gonna be like an apocalyptic scenario, like the Bible stated, that the time that we never seen before. And in the vision, I had a dream that Donald Trump pretty much declared martial law, and he pretty much activated the different executive orders. Now, for those of you guys that don't know what the executive orders actually deal with, it goes into details about how the government will be overridden by the dark secret government, the shadow government, the white supremacists, the dark web white supremacists, the people that own those different white militias, that own the underground facilities, those military bases. I'm talking about the most hardcore white racist neo-Nazis. I'm talking about the scum of the earth type of Caucasian crackers, man. I'm talking about those people. I had a vision that Donald Trump gave those people power over the different states of America. And what happened is that in that time frame, in that dream that I actually had, Donald Trump pretty much left the office, and I think later on, he did get killed. I'm not too sure what happened in my vision, but I had a vision that Donald Trump got killed during the Civil War. And, what was going on during the time of America was that it was about to be Jacob's trouble time, which means, the end times was already around the corner. And the majority of the black neighborhoods, the black communities, the projects, the ghettos and all that, the different barrios that existed, they was being gentrified, man. And in the vision, it got so bad to the point where they was bulldozering over and they was destroying all the black neighborhoods, all the projects. This was in my vision, man. This is the vision that I saw. They was blowing up and doing demolition, and they was destroying Jake's neighborhoods, man. They was destroying Jake's neighborhoods, man. And I even actually had a vision that pretty much the government, one day, it's gonna come a day one day, man, that Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, he's going to have his agenda to be fulfilled. Where he going to try to make his move to come after our people real soon, man. And you know, over here in Great Millstone, a lot of brothers that knows his truth. We all know that one day it's going to come a point in time that Esau, Edom, he going to come down with his great wrath to try to kill a lot of our people off. And this is what I saw in the vision. I'm going to get a verse real quick to actually go according to the scriptures. So here it is right here. This is the book of Revelation chapter 12 verse 12, and it says it right here. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants. Woe means destruction. So destruction to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil, the so-called self-proclaimed white man, Esau, Edom himself. For the devil, the so-called white man, Esau, has come down onto you, which is the Israelites, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. He's going to come down upon you guys, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. You know, this is what I saw, is that Donald Trump pretty much passed the executive orders to pretty much fulfill the King Alfred plan, which deals with the extermination of all the black and brown dogs. I'm talking about all of the ethnic groups in America, which they actually showed you in that movie called The Forever Purge, the last Purge sequel. They even showed you that in the first Purge movie as well too. And I'll tell you, man, it was graphic. They cut off the water supply. They cut off the food. I'm talking about everything from 2025. I mean, literally, they literally was literally like, I'm talking about getting rid of our people completely. I'm talking about, you saw black families. I'm talking about whole families getting exterminated, man. I'm talking about, you started seeing Esau and all these redneck Confederate groups just coming after our people left and right in my vision that I had, man. And our people, they wasn't ready for none of that stuff that was going on at all during that time of a civil war. And it came to a point in time where, when the fall of America started beginning to come to pass, all these white redneck Edomites was coming after our people, because they blamed the fall of America on the behalf of our people. And that's when they began to target our people in great numbers, man. And in the vision that I saw a lot of our people, they were starving to death. They couldn't drink no more water because the water supply was cut off from their neighborhoods. It was like, it was like Rosewood and Tulsa, Oklahoma, all combined into one, but worse than that. It was worse than slavery, man, how bad it was. That's how bad it was, man. I'm talking about, you saw majority of our people, they was starving so badly, to the point where they looked like the children that was starving in Africa. They looked worse than them, man. It was so bad to the point where our people was so traumatized and literally dramatically destroyed and distraught from all the destruction that they saw, that they became they became put in a mental vegetable state, bro. That's how bad it was. That's how bad I saw the vision of the end times that was taking place upon this earth on our people, man. And the crazy thing about it is that every time, whenever I actually have a vision on certain things that come to pass, it's like everything I always have a dream about, it always comes true at a certain extent. And it felt real, you know? And mind you, in the dream, I wasn't even living in America. I was on the other side, seeing what was going on in another country, watching what was going on in America, man. And that's what I saw in the dream, in the vision, man. You know? I saw, man, shit, I gotta catch my breath, man, because it's so much it's a lot. There's a lot to uncover with this vision that I have, man. You saw single mothers. You saw all these women that was out here talking about they was swirling and they was taking sides with being with the so-called white man and all that. I saw all these, when I say I saw women that was from the internet talking about how they was swirling, that they didn't really care about the black man and all that. In the dream that I have, they wasn't talking about none of that no more. They was scared to death. And majority of them, they was running back trying to find a so-called black man. And in the dream, it was so bad to the point where majority of all the men was dead and gone in my vision. There was no more men left. All the men died and starved out. They got killed off in the civil wars. They got killed off in the famines. They got killed off in the turf wars, the race wars, everything. It was bad, man. I'm talking about, you started seeing neo-Nazis running up in Jake's neighborhoods and our people's neighborhoods. They was doing arsons. They was burning down the project buildings, man. It was all hell breaking loose on our people, man. And we always say that one day, and I always say this too, it's gonna come a day that they gonna ostracize and segregate our people from the rest of society. And that time is coming very soon, man. They getting ready to pull out the big guns, man. And a lot of you guys that think that everything is a game, you guys don't got a lot of time left, man. 2025 was a test run. They was showing you that with the martial law being sent out there to Detroit, Michigan, how they was gonna regulate the crime. And they show you how they was cutting off the EBT food stamps. That's a sign right there. That was a litmus test from the government, man. They getting ready to pull out everything that they got to get rid of our people out the way, man. And in the vision that I saw mothers and grown people. I'm talking about grown adults. The younger generation, the younger adults. I'm talking about even the older generation. They was done, man. It's like they was damn near fucking defeated, man. They couldn't even survive no more type shit. Like Esau, Edom, the so-called white man himself, destroyed them so bad mentally to the point where they lost all hope. They lost all hope of survival. They didn't even want to survive no more, man. A lot of our people, they was taking their own lives because they couldn't take the simple fact of how they was going through they was catching so much hell from the so-called white man and his evil, wicked ways that they couldn't see themselves surviving this next wave of the next civil war situation that was taking place. So a lot of our people, they gave up hope, man. You know? And this is in the vision that I saw, man. No, this is in the vision this is in the dream that I had last night, man. This is in the vision that I saw. You know? And it's crazy because every time whenever I have a vision about something, the scary part about it is that it always comes true at a certain extent at some given point in time. You know? Man, I'm talking about these Edomites, man. A lot of our people, they was fighting them. They was going at it with them, but we was like, man, due to this feminist agenda, due to all this gang coaching, this drill rapping coaching, and the dumbing down, and the suppression, and all the suppressing of our minds being put upon the social media, and all this ignorant culture that we have, our numbers and our ways of how we was living, our people, they was weakened. They was watered down. They was too weak to fight these people, man. They couldn't defeat this. They didn't stand a chance against Esau, man. They didn't stand a chance at all, man, in the dream that I had. You know? And a lot of our people, man, it got so bad to the point where you even had some of our people, certain Jakes in the dream. It was like, yo, man, they felt like they was getting exterminated, man. That's how bad it was. That's how bad it was, man. I saw women out in the vision. I saw women sitting down on the curb. I'm talking about literally just giving up all hope because they saw how destroyed everything was in their neighborhoods that they couldn't even survive no more. So they just gave up all hope. They just sat down on the ground. They just was just sitting there, just laying down, just giving up. You know, just laying there, just looking lifeless, like they was just distraught, like they couldn't, they couldn't survive no more, man. You know, man, man. You know, that's exactly what I saw in the dream, and the vision ended. Because the lights got cut off. You know, and the only ones that was making it up out of here was the hopeful elect. A lot of brothers, like I saw the Elder Malcolm, I saw some of the brothers from Great Millstone, they were surviving this, man. Even I was surviving it, you know what I mean? I saw a lot of brothers, they was making it up out of here, but the rest of our people, they was done, man. I'm talking about whole families was getting exterminated by the so-called white man. It was so bad that you couldn't even go outside, man. Because in the dream, in the vision, it was so bad it felt like 1950s all over again. You had the neo-Nazis and the Ku Klux Klan driving around in different parts of the fucking country, in the different parts of America, man. And if they would have caught you outside at certain different parts at times and during the day, you would have been killed on the spot, man. That's exactly what I saw in the dream. You had the Aryan nations and all them coming outside trying to kill our people, man. Man. And the vision ended when I actually was watching all this on a live stream. I was seeing our people, like they children was just suffering. They was starving. They didn't have no more food and water. They didn't have no more money to even buy anything from the supermarkets. None of that, man. It was a bad, man. That vision did something to me, man. And my mind has not been right ever since I saw that dream I had, man, from last night. And that's how we getting closer to the end of this society. And that's how we getting closer to all this stuff coming to that point in time when the white man is going to come down and collapse this whole society. And he's going to try to exterminate our people, but he's not going to be able to get all of us, man. Because the only ones that's going to make it up out of here is the hopeful elect. And then the dream ended, the vision ended. It was when I managed to escape from a city that was burning down because it was a race war going on. I managed to escape. And mind you, I'm on the other side of the world. All hell and all chaos, all hell was breaking loose. And I managed to escape. And I managed to find a bunker and I was safe. And I looked at the time clock because it was a clock inside a room somewhere inside of a bunker. And I managed to find a bunker, and I was inside of a bedroom somewhere inside the bunker. And I looked at the time clock. It said 144. And we all know that the number 144 deals with the 144,000, the Lord's hopeful elect being sealed, man. So that was a spiritual sign that the Lord was with me in that dream. And I praised his name. I said, call on La Yahweh Shai. And then I went to sleep. I went to sleep in the bedroom. I went to sleep inside the underground bunker from the destruction that was taking place. And that's how the dream ended, So that was the vision that I saw, man. The horrific and terrible times is coming to the nation of our people, man. It's gonna be horrific times. The times that's gonna be coming up, it's gonna be on biblical, horrific proportions that we can't even imagine. It's gonna be legendary, man. It's going to be horrific urban legends that's going to be taking place out here, man, that you can't even believe. Like, you really going to have to see it to believe it. That's how bad it's going to be. Man. I gotta catch my breath, man, because it's like that dream did something to me, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. It did. It did, but through the Spirit, I'm all right, though. You know, the Lord, I know Yahweh Shema Shai, he got us as the whole elect. But a lot of our people, a lot of you 2/3 that went against his word, that went against the Bible, and went against the true names of Yahweh Shema Shai, y'all gonna get judged horrendously, man, for turning your backs on this truth, man, on the gospel. You know? But Lord willing, Yahweh Shema Shai will cover the hopeful elect. He'll cover our houses and our families. You know, through the Holy Spirit, through the Ruach HaKodesh, man. You know, Lord willing, man. Lord willing, but you know, that's all I had to say. You know, that was the vision that I saw, man. You know, horrific times is coming. You know, and it reminded me of that dream that the elder Yashawamba had. A lot of brothers been having visions about the times of Jacob's trouble. You know, man, it was something else to behold, man. I never had a vision like that before, and it felt real. The vision felt way too real. The dream felt way too real. So that means we getting closer to the time that I just described within my dream, within my vision. We getting closer to that time coming to pass, man. We getting close to that time, you know? So I just had to make this quick testimony, man. You know, I have a lot of visions I want to talk about that I had throughout this entire these past couple of years when I was in this truth. You know, even in my younger years, I might just start going back into talking about the visions that I had about the times that we're about to experience. You know, Lord willing, you know, this lesson was edifying, you know, straight to the point. You know, man, our people don't know what time that they're coming into, man. They really don't. And I just be sitting around, just looking at these people like these people don't have a clue about what's coming to the planet Earth. They don't know. They really don't know. But only the hopeful elect, Lord willing, you brothers and you few sincere sisters that's listening, watching this video, Lord willing, you know, the brothers is preaching his word, the elders and apostles and the brothers on down is preaching the word, Lord willing, all of us, man, that's in this truth. Lord willing, Yahweh Shema Shai, he got us, man. And deep down through the Spirit, you know, for a fact, even if we do die on this side, even if we do have to sacrifice our lives on this side for this truth, then so be it. The Lord got us, man. He got us. So with that, I'd like to give all honors and glories, infinite praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem HaKodesh. I'd like to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who do well, who taught us the truth, peace and blessings and salutations to the whole elect, which is scattered across the four corners of the planet Earth. May Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem HaKodesh protect the hopeful elect and keep us Salakia. May Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai richly bless and keep the hopeful elect members protected in these last days and make us be guided to our righteous destiny to the very end. So with that, I just say peace and blessings unto you all. Shalom. Lord willing, we be able to make it through these times, man. Lord willing. Shalom.